Hello, everyone. Just want to briefly talk about a new function that we have available to really improve the efficiency of our communication while working remotely, and that is Google Chat. The great thing about this tool, I'm going to talk about it from a standpoint of us being able to communicate with one another more efficiently, but also in the future, as we look to get instructors more access, this could be used as an opportunity to for instructors to engage with their students. We don't have that functionality fully developed yet, but it could be an option. So you can also view this video from that vantage point if you are a leader of a particular program. But what does Google Chat do? Well, it functions like an instant messenger of sorts, but with way more bells and whistles. Again, it's tied into our entire Google suite, so it's all linked, and it really makes things efficient. As we think about the conversations that we are having or having to work remotely, a lot of the conversations that we would either have in person or that we would normally pick up the phone or just walk to somebody's office to have, we are now having that in email, and it's really inefficient. It's inefficient for a couple of reasons. One, it's clouding your email, so if you're trying to keep up with everything, it's difficult to do that. We only have so many hours in the day. At that, we all have personal things that are going on as we are sheltering in place and quarantined, and so anything that we can do to make our conversations more efficient would be better. Also, as you think about when you're trying to have an ongoing conversation through email, the problem with that is once somebody emails you back, then you got to go back and find the original email to try to jog your memory on what was said, and then come back and reference that and try to remember. It's just very difficult, and so Google Chat allows you to streamline a lot of that, and that's something that we want to adopt in the division. So one thing to consider about Google Chat before I show you specifically how to get to it, it's virtual, and it can be accessed from any computer or smartphone. Matter of fact, I have the app on my phone, which really helps a lot, and I'll probably put a little snapshot of what that looks like at the end of this video to show. I usually mostly on my phone because it functions like a text message app of sorts, but like way better. And you can kind of determine when you want to receive messages, et cetera, et cetera. So it's really great. Again, times that you might want to use this include ongoing discussion that you may want to have with your teams or groups of people in the division. It's better for conversation. Again, for those who have instructors, they may want to have virtual office hours where students can chime in and ask questions. You can upload files. You can launch a Google Meet video from Google Chat as well. So it's really good. Another option that it can be utilized as once we are able to, if we are able to get access for all of our instructors, is that it can be used as a discussion board of sorts. And so if there are specific threads or topics that instructors want to share best practices, Google Chat would be a very good functionality opportunity for that. So how do you access Google Chat? So just to show you a little bit about how you do that. So when you go in and you go to google.com, again, I usually go from google.com instead of my Oakton. I feel like it's a little easier. The first thing you're going to check is to make sure you are logged into your Oakton related Gmail account. So if I hover here, if I did this, I can see that I have some other email addresses, but the one that I have ready right now is jivory@Oakton. I will say sometimes because of how Oakton has set things up, even having these available will kind of make it revert to the wrong email or whatever it is. So sometimes you may even have to outright log out of your personal accounts to go through your Oakton account. So that's just a troubleshooting tip that I want to share there. But you're going to make sure you're logged in. Then you're going to go to the dots and you're going to look for chat. And you're going to click on chat. Once you click on that chat, you're going to go in. And for you all, and I'm going to just kind of go up here so we don't show that. But for you all, you're going to, this is going to be kind of blank, and this will as well. And what you're going to do is a few things. You want to start a group message or individual message. You would go here and click group message. And then you would type in a person's name that you want to do. Luckily, everybody's email address from Oakton is already linked to Google Chat, so it would be very easy. Once you do that, it'll kind of list under here of people that you have individual chats available with. The other thing that you could do is create what's called rooms, and rooms would be like groups. So there might be a group, an adult ed group. There may be an emeritus group, a community ed group. And again, this would be conversations that you would be having within that group. And how you would do that is just you would just create a room. And kind of once you create that room, you would give the room a name, and then you would add the different people to that particular room. So the great thing about this, and I wanted to kind of show one without revealing too much on how it kind of looks, and I'll just kind of go from there. But when you go in here, then you, like we created an Alliance IT needs discussion. I won't go too much, but you will be able to go in here and again, add people here, but also then you would start a thread. So I'm going to actually create a test room so you can see what it looks like. You know, whatever it is, maybe you're discussing a particular project between people within your team or external to your team. You go in here, you can add people here, and this is how you would add anybody that needs to know, and then they would get a notification via email they've been added to that room. While you're in that room, you can create a new thread. A new thread is really a conversation. So say we're working on a fall planning, then we would create this new thread. After that, you are then having your conversation there. So anybody that talks, it would show up here. The great thing about this too is that for people that are in the room, you may want to, if there's a lot of people in the room, you may want to direct a specific comment to somebody. So I may say at Elena, at Ruben, at Mark, whatever it may, there's a specific thing that I want to say. So you would just put the @ sign and then click that person. Another thing that you can do while you're in here is you can upload a file. You can also add a specific Google folder to this. Again, if you want to add a video, all of this will be posted internally, and it actually has some cute little emojis you can put in here. The other great thing is when you put a file or anything of that nature or a link, it shows up a certain kind of way, or it shows up really visible. Also, when you if you put a video in here, maybe you want to show people something, it shows up as an embedded video, so you don't have to like necessarily click and go outside of this chat room. And then again, you're going to have a whole string of conversation that's going to be here. So when somebody asks you a question, all you have to do is go back through the string of conversation to find what you need to find, and it's really easy. A couple of things, you can also use a search button. If you remember talking about something and you want to find something in a particular room that you're in, you can do that. The other thing that you can do is you can decide that you need to turn off your being active, and so you can turn that off for 8 hours or how long it is. The other great thing is you can turn off or set how you want to be notified that something has come through. So this gives you notifications on your web and desktop, your mobile, and your email, and it kind of tells you, okay, I want to get a notification when I'm mentioned specifically, otherwise I don't. I want to receive an email when I'm mentioned specifically, or I want something to come on my mobile. So I always get a pop-up like a text message whenever somebody comments in a room that I'm in. Now, if I wanted to turn that off, I could do that, or I can say that I just want to do it when they're directing something towards me. So this is the great thing about the notifications, and that you don't always have to have it visible. Again, this is a great room. You can set it up where you can have individual groups again, and also I am setting up one-on-ones with, my team as we have one-on-one conversation, and it's going to really help to kind of streamline the conversation. So again, this is an option, and so what you would do is just when you wake up, you would, or when you get on, you would open this as well as your email, and then everything would pop up from there. Again, I really advise, although not required, to use your cell phone, because that's another great option. So if you have any questions about Google Chat, please let me know. Also, again, I'll try to insert some sort of quick screenshot of what it would look like to have Google Chat on your phone as well, because it's really, really nice. All right. Thank you, everyone.